In this video, I'm going to share the top 3 ways that you, a financial advisor, can get CPAs to actually refer new clients to you. I'll actually be summarizing some of the key takeaways that I wrote in a massive blog post for Michael Kitz's blog a few years ago. Now, you might be thinking that I've tried that already and it doesn't work. I've referred lots of clients to different CPAs and they never return the favor. If that's you, then watch this video and you'll get a few new ideas on how to actually create relationships with CPAs that work. Now, I've had a sneak peek into how CPAs think and what they think about advisors because I started out in a CPA firm. I did taxes for about 5 years in the beginning, from 2009 for a few years, before making the transition to becoming a full-time advisor for my clients. And I got pitched by dozens of financial advisors. So I know what most are doing, and I know the few that really stand out and the few that CPAs like the most. So that's what I'm gonna share with you today. Very quickly, if I haven't met you yet, I'm Dave Zoller. I run a successful wealth management firm with my business partner, Tim. And we created this channel for advisors because most other channels out there teaching practice management or communication techniques weren't created by advisors who are actively growing their business. So please subscribe if you'd like a free resource like this as you grow your business. And by the way, if you're more of a reader and you want to get this sample verbiage and scripts to use during each step of the process as you're beginning a new relationship with a CPA, click in the link in the description below to get the CPA referral guide that I put together for you. It includes a one-pager template that CPAs love if you're able to take the time, maybe for your top 10 clients, to fill out each tax season. So since every other advisor is vying for CPA's attentions, here's my main tip on how to stand out. You have to understand the 3 biggest problems that CPAs face that you can actually help solve for them. So really, you're gonna be making their life easier. If you can do that during tax season, there's a much greater chance that they're gonna wanna talk to you after tax season. When I used to get pitched by advisors, they would walk in and they'd focus on themselves, or they talk about the great work that they do, or even about the great work that they do for their clients, or maybe the status of their big firm. But the ones that stood out the most were the ones that focused on the CPA and how to make their life easier while also helping their clients. So I'll go over the top 3 problems that CPAs have and how you can solve them. And then I'll share how to get CPAs comfortable with referring their clients to you. Then we'll go over how to get those initial conversations started with CPAs where they'll actually want to talk with you. So here's CPA problem number 1. They have to explain negative tax consequences of the decisions that their clients or that their advisors helped them with make in the previous year. It's a common experience for CPAs to have to explain bad news to their clients because of an investment decision that the client made or the advisor made, whether it's a capital gain or a distribution of dividends from funds, or it was a Roth conversion, something like that, or an IRA distribution. Nobody likes being the bearer of bad news, and CPAs have to do this all the time. So if we can simply keep our CPAs in the loop on financial things happening throughout the year, this allows the CPA to chime in and just to take note of it and recommend maybe possible changes for the client that year on estimated payments or how much to withhold, things like that. Clients love it when you can take this sort of team approach with their CPA, their investment person, and them. Really, they just want to be out of the middle. The second problem that CPAs have is the time that's wasted going back and forth with their clients regarding missing tax forms. Clients sometimes miss a tax doc, or maybe they've never received it in the mail. I'd say half of the time, CPAs need to go back and forth with an email or call to talk about that missing info. Then a lot of times the client contacts you to see how they can get access to the missing info because they never got it in the mail. And really, the client ends up as the middleman or the middlewoman, which is a position they don't really want to be in. But what if we can make both our clients and the CPA's life easier? Usually at the beginning of every tax season, we'll send a reminder email to our best clients and their CPAs, letting them know of the accounts on where to expect a tax form from. And then get authorization from our clients to talk to the CPAs directly. This has saved both the client and the CPA so much time each tax season. Then problem number 3 that CPAs have is missing cost basis of older investments. It usually happens during tax season while the CPA is working on the client's tax return, and then they see a 0 cost basis on the 1099. They call the client to ask about it, and the client has no idea. And then that begins the time-consuming process to try and figure out what the basis is. This is usually one of the things where clients have to end up paying way more to the government than they have to. And then when the CPA talks to the advisors, usually that advisor says, well, they held this long before they became a client of mine, so I don't know what it is, and they don't care to do the work to help figure out what the cost basis is. And when this happens, usually the CPA takes a guess and ends up paying more tax than they need to, or that client ends up paying more tax than they need to. So if you don't know the cost basis for an older holding, there are a few hypothetical models out there. For example, we used Morningstar hypothetical models in the past to give pretty accurate numbers to what the cost basis could be. So if you're serious about starting a CPA relationship and you decide to start communicating with your client CPAs more often during tax season and after tax season, really throughout the year, they'll start to see your value. They'll start to see that you care for your clients more than a lot of other advisors do, and that you're actually making their life easier. Doing that's just step one of the relationship. Now begins the process of taking it a step deeper with that CPA. I've done this a lot, so I know the right words to say and then the right things to do to move the relationship from really beginning stages to one where the CPA looks to you and actually trusts you a lot more than other advisors that they know, which then leads to more referrals for you. And to make it easy for you, I type up the verbiage and the scripts and put it all in a PDF for you, and I put the link in the description below if you're interested in that. But before I go, if this was helpful, please click the like button so that I know to continue to make videos like this for financial advisors. And if you'd like, share a comment below if you've created a successful CPA relationship, or what's a common problem that you run into when you're trying to do this with a CPA. I'll read each comment and then reply to each one, and then I'll see you in the next video. Take care.